Good morning, my beautiful friends. It is a Monday morning, and this is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I'm Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves, and so we're going to have our I am deck right here that I use to help us do that. So I want to say thank you guys so very much for coming by, for liking and sharing this stream, for really just expanding this message into the world. And we're here to say some nice things about ourselves. I'm going to pull an affirmation off the top of this deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. You're going to respond, I am the affirmation on the card. And we're going to do it out loud. We're going to do it together. And in doing so, we're really going to expand our faith. So let's just begin by saying that today I am effortless. I am effortless. I harness my talents in service of my goals. So I am effortless. I harness my talents in service of my goals. So, are you effortless? You are effortless. You harness your talents in service of your goals. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that in the chat. And as I do, I am effortless. I harness my talents in service of my goals. Morning there, Grant. As I do that, as I write down this in the on the internet, as I comment on this, I am making it more real. So when I just said it, that's one level of belief, but writing it is another level of belief. Saying it out loud is another level of belief. So we are you effortless? You are effortless. You harness your talents in service of your goals. So we are saying it, we are writing it down, and we are really increasing the vibration of that effortlessness. I like I chose a sailboat for a reason on this. If you think about it, a sailboat it seems as if a sailboat moves effortlessly across the water. When I lived on Maui, I had some friends, and we would take a 27-foot sailboat. We go out into Kaneohe Bay, K Bay, and we would go sailing. And it was just always such a wonderful feeling to pull off the dock. This boat didn't have a motor on it. This boat didn't even have electricity. This boat was a sail. This boat had a sail and a mast and some various ropes and whatnot. And the guy who the captain of the vessel was a very skilled mariner, and he could just read the water. He could read the waves, and he knew how to put that boat exactly where he wanted it to go. And it just struck me that even though it seemed as if there was really no effort being expended, the boat itself was purpose built for doing that, and the mariner was skilled in reading the external environmental factors in order to make that boat go where he wanted it to go. And so while it seemed like it was just a completely effortless thing, there was actually a lot going on around the scenes. Being effortless doesn't mean that we don't work. It doesn't mean that we don't put in time and dedication. It means that we harness the natural forces to benefit what we're doing. That's what it means. It means that we take our talents and our abilities, and we harness them in service of where we want to go and what we want to do. And that requires skill, and that requires experience. And that requires doing it day after day after day and finding out all of the awful ways to get things done before we find the effortless ways to get things done. And I recall I was out there one time, we were sailing, and there was a student sailor on board. And so the experienced sailor handed off the helm to the student sailor, and all of a sudden that boat started behaving very differently. And I realized the difference in experience, the difference between the two of them, the one of them with dozens and dozens of years of making that boat go exactly where he wanted it to go, versus the student who had a couple of months of sailing experience, and how very quickly it turned into a much rougher, much choppier ride. It wasn't nearly as efficient. And so being effortless, it doesn't mean that we don't work. It means that we don't have to effort because we harness all of the natural forces as much as we possibly can in service of our goals and our dreams and our ambitions. And ultimately, like if we want to cross oceans, we can cross oceans. This little 27-foot sailboat, that guy had sailed it to Hawaii. He had sailed it across the Pacific Ocean. It didn't have a motor on it. And he somehow managed to make it from California to Hawaii. And so, he was able to go very, very far across a treacherous, a treacherous journey because of the experience that he had. And so as we go through today, this is our reminder that it doesn't need to be hard, that we can harness our skills, that we can harness our abilities, that we can leverage our experiences. And in doing so, see, we have this our brain loves it when things are hard. Our brain thinks if it's hard, then I'm working, and if I'm working, then it's worth it. And that's in many cases not true at all. We recognize that, of course, we have to work for the things that we want, but that there comes a point where the effort is Sisyphean, where we're pushing the rock up the hill just to watch it roll down the other side of the hill. And there's no reason to add any more effort than necessary. We want to add exactly the right amount at exactly the right time, just like that expert mariner put in just the right amount of all the control inputs to get that boat to go exactly where he wanted it to go. And we went from the dock out into the bay, all around the bay, and then right back into the dock, and with absolutely very, very little effort on our parts. All of the effort was in the machine. All of the effort was in the systems, the processes, the environment itself. Brenda Jean, I know that you talk about environmental design. You talk about making it easy to do the things that we want to do, just putting it in our environment. One of the things that I'm doing as I'm remodeling the place that I live is to just make sure that the only things in this place are things that are supportive and conducive to my dreams, my goals, my aspirations. Yeah. So there you go. I love what you're saying there, Grant. Grant says you have to become one with the boat. It seems or appears effortless, but you have to harness your talents in service to your goals. Absolutely, sir. That's exactly how it works. So, good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Brenda Jean. I see you here as well. I see you, Lauren. Good morning. Good morning. And just really appreciate you guys all coming here and playing this game with me and really affirming this stuff. As we affirm these things, we get to live it. We get to embody it. And so I'm going to come back at 9 p.m. tonight with Nightfall with Maui Paul, and we're going to talk about how did this card show up in our lives. I'm going to talk about how it showed up in mine, and it's going to be really cool. It's so fun to recognize when all of this stuff is manifesting in our lives and in our experience. So I want to say thank you guys so much for coming by. Thank you to those people who like and share this. This broadcast, even with basically zero marketing, is reaching about 200 people a day, and I just think that's the coolest thing. It is mostly reaching that because of the folks who share it. So thank you for sharing it. And I will be back at 9 p.m. If you need a particular affirmation, I have them all on my on my on my YouTube channel. Grant says it's not a game per se, it's therapy. Darn right it is. It's therapy for myself before it's therapy for anybody else. I do this so that I get out of bed in the morning, and it's because I have to affirm these things for me. Because if I don't, then oh man, my internal monologue can get pretty sideways, and I don't want that to happen in my world. So I do this for myself as well. So I'm glad that you feel that this is therapeutic. Thank you for recognizing that this is very valuable for us. So anyway, yeah, if you need a particular affirmation, I have them on my YouTube channel. It's linked in the video description. I will talk to you guys later. Again, thank you so much for having some fun with me today, and aloha from paradise.